I am and will always be a fan of esports, but what I am not a fan of is blind fandom. I think it's abhorrent, and people who follow teams or follow players for unspecified reasons or because it is popular, I think that's a terrible way to be a fan, and I think logically that is a incorrect way to be a fan. I think there is such a thing as an incorrect fan. And so there's this idea of wanting to be a part of the cool kids, right? Wanting to like the most popular thing. And this has happened throughout a lot of our lifetimes, right? I know there was the Pokemon cards or the Digimon cards back in the day. And I liked Pokemon cards, maybe partially because it was the popular thing to do. I didn't fucking like Digimon cards. That game can go to hell. But I did like Pokemon cards. And that was just very popular. You could trade with your friends. The game was pretty fun, but looking back, I think I genuinely liked the game and enjoyed the game. And so there is a difference, though, between uh, enjoying something or first liking something because it is popular, right? And that attracts you because it is popular. But then to find fulfillment and to find full enjoyment throughout that thing, whether it be an activity or a team that you support, it should then come down to what your preference is and what you like about that team. And so a law is different from traditional sports because fans they often follow players and not teams. And this may be a relic of the pre-franchise era. Rip Dignitas and Immortals, right? But when looking at players such as Doublelift, right, where he started out on CLG and then went to TSM, that was a very big move, and fans were had this inner conflict to determine whether they actually liked CLG the team or if they actually liked Doublelift the player. And so people were kind of confused and torn apart, and a lot of them did side with the player themselves, Doublelift, and they decided they were actually fans of the player and not necessarily the organization. And so that's how it's a little bit different, and that might be because of different region representation, right? A esports team generally, besides Overwatch League, is not representative of a specific region, right? It's kind of well, it is a big region, as in North America, but that's a very expansive territory, right? And so that's how it's different from traditional sports. And what the real crux of this is that I find it annoying when a fan only likes a winning team. I think there is a lot more to a team than just winning, right? There's a lot more than, just liking SKT just because they're the most winningest team, right? And just because they have won all these championships, oh, suddenly you're a fan, right? There's a difference between liking a team and respecting a team. Big difference. And so maybe you like a team because of the personalities. Maybe you like the specific players on the team. Maybe you like Doublelift. Maybe you like Xmithy on Team Liquid. These are things that is, to my knowledge, or to my opinion, I think are acceptable reasons to like a team. And same with content. Team Liquid, they do fantastic content. Maybe you like their content. Maybe you like TSM's Legends content. Like maybe you like their atmosphere and how they're somewhat serious. Maybe you like Cloud9's content because it's way more casual and it's a little more memey, and you can connect with the personalities a little bit more because it associates with your personality. So there are different reasons as to like different teams, and especially for style of play. Maybe you like the style of play of Echo Fox and how they're bloodthirsty and they always want to fight. Or maybe you like win lane, win game KT roster. Maybe you just like how they pick lane priority and then they smash through the lane phase and then therefore they win the game, right? Or maybe you like the more methodical play style of KSV or Samsung. Maybe you like how they just go through the laning phase, they don't take too many risks, but then when it comes to objective control and team fight, maybe you like how they are so good at setting that up and setting up their macro to where if you do team fight them, you're still making a bad decision because you'll lose something on the other side of the map. Maybe you enjoy that play style, right? So there are several different reasons as to like a team besides just liking them because they win, and that is not restrictive to teams that win as well too, or good teams. You can like teams that don't really win a whole lot. Maybe you like Golden Guardians because they do this hive mind control, right? To where High is at this epicenter and he's kind of playing fucking StarCraft with all his players and telling them what to do. Like, and maybe you like that wild decisiveness from them and how they're picking all these crazy counter picks like a Lowy. So maybe you just enjoy that. That could be something that you enjoy legitimately and not expect to win every game, but when they do win, you're really happy, right? And so these are all legitimate reasons, I believe, to like a team. And so the basis is just don't like a team or something in general just because it's popular. For instance, the Seattle Seahawks. I'm from Seattle, so they had won their championship, and during that time everyone was going crazy about the Seahawks, and they were all asking me like, oh, like, the Seahawks are doing pretty good, blah blah blah, what do you think about them facing the Broncos or whatever fucking team? And it's just like, I don't really care, man. Like, I don't like football. And they're like, what? Like, but they're your team. It's like, yeah, but I don't like football, so what does it matter to me? Like, it doesn't, just because they're winning right now doesn't mean that I care, doesn't mean that I should care, right? And so it's this whole idea that just because a team is winning, suddenly you have to become a fan of them, right? And I've never liked football for quite some time. Well, I shouldn't say never. I did like football way back in the past, but that's not to say just because my home region is winning, suddenly I need to become a fan. And I think this reason to become a fan or to like a specific thing is because of this camaraderie aspect, right? That you belong to a specific subset of a group of people, right? And that you have this common bond to therefore connect you all. And that's what the Seahawks was about the 12th man, and how all these fans could connect together because football, on the field you have 11 players on the field at all times, so therefore the 12th man was the fans, and so they were kind of like part of this family, you could say. And so everyone built this connection within Seattle or within football, and so therefore you always kind of knew that you could relate to people from Seattle by means of football, right? And so that felt comfortable, that felt good, and humans like to feel comfortable, right? They like to belong to a specific set of people because therefore you can expect certain things from them, right? You can expect this certain behavior, this certain morals and ethics and everything. That's why we've created nations. That's why we've created cities and laws. It's because you can expect certain types of behavior from people, and so therefore making you feel more comfortable. But in the same sense, that's not a good reason for you to accept something because it's popular. That just doesn't make any sense to me. And but in the same sense, don't go to the extreme to where you like something because it is unpopular. Like, don't be a fucking hipster just because something is not popular, and so therefore it's like cool. It's this niche little thing that you like because not many people like it. So don't go full blown into the other direction. And so basically what I'm saying is, don't just follow blindly, or don't blindly follow a team, right? Admit their flaws, admit their mistakes, admit that they have weaknesses, and that although they do have these weaknesses, you still enjoy them as a team because of this aspect or this aspect. And there's a big difference between being a fan and respecting a team, in respecting a team because they're winning, or because they have a very high level of play. And so blind fandom is quite one of the worst ways, I think, to enjoy a sport or to enjoy a game. And quite frankly, I find it disgusting whenever I do encounter these types of individuals.